We also were leading the race for 22 laps, only to have the tyre explode. Not from where, just
one of them
let
times.
go. Yeah, and that was, that broke us. It's like,
You couldn't even blame someone in the crew.
it's like, yeah, oh, that's right. It's better when you got someone you can blame.
Yeah, like, it wasn't for Dave.
It's time to run the Barracuda! Everybody do it now! Do what me? Come on and do the Barracuda!
G'day, viewers. Today's podcast was brought to you by Koala Karma, the chill-out drink. They're worldwide now, you know what I'm saying? Sit down and drink a couple of Karma Koalas and just chill out. Put your phone down. Say hello to your mate. G'day, mate. What are you doing there, Tiger? Are you feeling all right? Champion? Anyway, on today's podcast, I speak to, a rising legend, actually, I reckon. A rising star in sprint car racing. He's been there for the last 10 years anyway, racing all sorts of things in Speedway. Luke Oldfield, who's currently racing in my old man's team, Titan Racing. So I didn't really know him. So what you're hearing here is me getting to know Luke Oldfield. And we spent an hour and a bit talking about all sorts of stuff that is going to bore half of you, but it's going to entertain the other dirty half. Sit back and have a listen to this. Are you there, Luke? Yeah! Luke Oldfield.
How you going?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, not
Put it
bad.
there.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird one, eh?
Yeah, mate, something new for me.
Isn't it?
Yeah, something different. Always looking for something new to do.
I'm stoked you're here, mate.
Yeah,
I'm stoked. Because all I know of you, really, is that, that you've been driving my old man's sprint car for more than a year. No, less than a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw you race for the first time that I know of, only last Saturday night or the Saturday night before. And, mate, you could have won the race. I think you finished third, but you were in the race. Like I said to you after, you could have won. Like Andrew Shirley, what's his name?
Lockie McHugh.
McHugh and yourself were just in the race. It was so good.
Yeah, it was pretty intense out there that night. Anyone could have won. Lockie McHugh's just, he was out there putting it to me, and we got a bit of bad luck with those yellow lights all night, You get past him, then the yellow light go back, It was vice versa as well, but yeah, it was.
You passed him 4 times. And,
yeah, I know.
And you got sent to back to third 4 times.
Yeah, I know. I was in my helmet trying to calm myself down because, you get all pumped up to get past them, and then you're looking for the next car to pass. Oh, yellow light.
Yeah. And if anyone who's ever raced at Archerfield, it's one of the hardest places to race. It's the hardest place to pass. Or everything's at risk. If you pull off a pass, for some reason, Archerfield is just, which, by the way, that night there was only one rollover that I saw.
Yeah.
It was like the track was nice and wide, but everyone, for what I know of the tracks everywhere, Archerfield's just got this, like you don't get a Brooke Tatnall or a Robbie Farr or a Gary Brazier. They've never come from, we have our greats in Queensland.
Yep, we do.
But the greats have always come from other parts of the country. You know what I mean? And I put that down to because there's always a different winner at Archerfield generally,
Yep. Although this year's been a bit of a clean sweep for Andrew, Andrew Shirley.
Good on him
he's
too.
He's definitely, he's on his game this year, which I think was a bit of a roll on from last year. So, good on him.
Mate, he's been there forever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Mate, he was just starting when I first just started, and that was 98.
Yeah.
So that's a long time ago, man, you know.
Yep.
And, but yeah, so I only rang you up yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So come on, Luke, come on down here, because I had bingo on this. I went up to bingo's, your crew chief.
Yeah.
Eugene Jenkins.
Yep.
Great champion from
He's real
Pennsylvania.
good. Yeah. No, we get on well, Eugene. Jeez.
You call him Eugene?
No, hell no. Hell no.
I love it.
I feel weird saying that name. Everything's bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no.
There's nothing like, knowing an American called Bingo. Hey, Bingo. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Man, hit yeah.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we get on well. We've we've been working well together for the last year, last season. But yeah, no, we've we've had our altercations, but we've sorted through it and gone really good. So looking forward to it all.
Let me read you something. Right?
Yeah.
I normally spend like a minute Googling someone that's going to come on this show, right? And listen to this. You probably read it back in the day, but here we go. Let me find it. Okay. 20th of July, 2015. Okay,
we're going back.
Yeah. So, Oldfield signs with Titan Racing. So it was an article, and I don't know who it was in Speedway World magazine. Blah blah blah. That here we go. Live wire Queensland hard charger Luke Oldfield has inked a deal that sees him joining one of the most experienced sprint car teams in Australia for the 2015 season. Right, but here's the last bit. And this is what I really like about it. Oh, hang on, got to have a breath out. Now, this is from Bingo. So Bingo's been interviewed here. To be honest, Luke kind of reminds me of a younger Robbie Farr, Jenkins' muses. He's an aggressive driver and he's his own man. He doesn't question it. He just gets that thing, the sprint car, into the corner. He's fast and he's not afraid to take chances. I think he'll surprise a lot of people this season and we're excited about having him in the car. We'll hang around up here for most of the early part of the season and visit Sydney when we can. Then do a bit of travelling after Christmas. I think Luke will probably need to learn a bit more about slicker tracks down south, but that can only be good for him. He'll be a good acquisition for Titan Racing, and I know that he wants to work with us on building this team back into a national contender. I think you've done it, man.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a pretty good year. We're very consistent. As he was pretty right on going down south. We struggled pretty good down there. It's we didn't come away with any feature finishes or any good. Although you got the good field, you got 120 cars when we were down at the Classic, so it was a hard deal to qualify for it. So it was probably the downer on the whole time that I was being with it. It's mainly on my own part. Putting a lot of pressure on myself and to get to the front and make it happen.
And mate, if that thing was in July, I can imagine you have to go through emotional stages. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, the big opportunity. Everyone knows Titan Racing.
Yeah.
And there's my old man who's like his own sort of force, mental force. And I know through the amount of drivers we've had, he's a force. Like if he's around, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it, good on him. So you have your good days and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work out. But so as a driver, you sometimes, lose focus. And why I'm saying this, it was cool as hell for me to see you, top three the other night, and you could have won it. But I could just tell by your driving, man. I'm not trying to shake you, you know what I mean? You can generally always see someone who's racing good and they race well.
Yeah. No,
and that they're probably going to race well the next weekend as well.
Yeah.
Nothing was loose about. Nothing was chance.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I really love racing. I've always been one to. No matter what I do, it's always about, winning the race. Although there hasn't been many this year, but we've been there at the point where it could have won either way. I just think a little bit of luck on our side would have been helpful through the year. But definitely we've come away, with the end of this season here, with a new chassis and new shocks and the car's feeling good. And Bingo, welcome well. It's we've had probably 2 or 3 quick times here at Archfield the last few races at the start of the night. So the car's quick. Just got to be, a bit of bad luck through the draws through the end of the night and starting back in the field. Sort of, those guys are really quick. So you really got to get a good field, good starting position and be able to pass on the track.
Yeah, and that's what I meant about Archfield, right?
Yeah,
you can be great at Parramatta. All the times I race Parramatta, you can. Especially with a good car and on a good night, there's enough straights and wide turns to, or push to some of the other guys who don't have the equipment. At least they get pushed to the back a lot quicker, and you don't get tangled up with them and blah blah blah. Kwinana and you know what I mean. The cream rises to the top. I hate saying that expression, but you know what I mean. That's what Archfield is. You can be locked into 12th and go, wow, man, this is just one line in this track, and no matter what I do.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Everyone's seen it. Probably a little less these days because they got that track prep pretty nice.
Yeah, he's got it pretty good. It's a little bit narrow at the moment. He's got that bit of a berm there through the middle of the track, so it sort of levels off. So it's not as good as it was probably at the start of the year, with all the end of last year even. With you'd have good cush up on the fence, and I like getting up high and getting on the wheel, as you might say.
Yeah.
But when we went down to Parramatta, that was pretty cool. We went down there once this year.
It's fast though, eh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
But yeah, I don't really, doesn't really worry me. A bigger track, it sort of feels like you go at a smaller track, just you're doing the same speed.
Yep.
But when we're down there, I struggled with qualifying, and the car was good. But in the feature, we got I think we started 20th or something, 18th, around there. We got up to 10th, and it was good racing with them guys, and we passed some good cars down there. So, and to get running, it would have been nice to have more races down there, or more races on those bigger tracks. That's where you're right in saying about the Archfield scenario. You get stuck in your groove, or you race there all the time. You pick up bad habits there, and which is not a bad thing, but it's still, you're used to racing there. You're not used to, probably a bit more finesse in your steering the car. You really got to finesse, and it showed when we went to Warrnambool, and it wasn't until the last few nights that we were running there, after about 5 nights, that we started, feeling comfortable, and you got to run smooth and on those slick tracks, and just sort of nail your marks every time. Otherwise, you have a little moment and they'll eat you up. The caliber of guys around now are so great. And all the gear these days is pretty much the same, and the top running guys have all the same gears, good motors, and that's important to, have a good finishing position with the team,
Yeah. So tell me what it's like. I was looking up there. You raced. What was your first Speedway car?
V8 Dirt Modified.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I looked at. I found this article from 2006, which was kind of the last time I raced.
Yep.
And you won. The article was from you beating. Is it Stuart Hearn?
Yeah.
Some big names in Speedway.
Yeah.
And this was an article. Here's this kid at the time, or whatever.
Yep.
With this trophy, you beat everyone at Lismore Speedway.
Yep.
I go, wow. So what was it like? So what are they? What's the motors in those things?
There's 360 small block, cast on heads, cast on block. Yeah.
What would that
Carburetor.
be? 400 or 500 horsepower?
Back then, around to 600.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so the same sort of thing, but more weight.
Yeah. More weight.
I remember clearly. I always think of Parramatta.
Yep.
Where I went from the 372 motor to the 410.
Yep.
And sort of raced there like 1 week, came back and raced the 410, and it was a genuine 900 horsepower, they claimed. It was a, what's his name? Inglis? Scotty Inglis.
Yep.
He was banging on about this thing, and I remember going, man, it was like a second faster than the last time I was there.
Yep.
I remember just going, and it was wide open. It was like a really
hooked up track.
Hooked up first heat, and Linton Jeffrey was in front of me, and I just remember going, this is insane.
Yep.
Like anything could happen. And the wing was pulling the back, and then the straight, you could feel every part of the car.
Yep. Yep.
What was it like going from that to your first, feature, or your first night of sprint cars?
Yeah, well,
because I don't always talk too much, but
you're right.
I got straight. I was one of those lucky son of a rich kid, or son of a rich dude who got straight into a sprint car.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. So you'd have years of driving a modified.
Yep.
Getting in a sprint car, it's all different, right?
Yeah. It was. I think the progression was quite good, probably because of my driving style with the modified. We always loved the heavy tracks, and we're always driving hard, hard and fast into the corners, and got into the sprint car. And basically, when my first run, we did a lease deal for the car through Steve Voigt. He come on board. And he actually rang me one day. We just out of the blue, we were talking about a car. Oh, this one's up for sale, And I said, oh, well, maybe. And at the time, we had Robbie Farr. He just worked, their shop was up the street, and I used to go out and do welding jobs for him. So,
where's this, though?
At Mollendina. Yeah, their team was based up the street. So
the East Coast
pipeline
team.
I
didn't know that. Wow,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they're still there. So
yeah, are they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I thought they were always in Sydney, and that's how far I'm away from it. Okay,
yeah. No, they're down Mollendina. So yeah, no, Him, Speedy, Nick Speed was there, and